we have a great guest coming up and an interesting topic about parents and how they behave on the sporting fields across our country. We've got some examples of some bad behavior that you won't believe, or maybe you will, but kind of outrageous.
It's Channel Mom with Jenny Dean Schmidt. We're here for you.
I'm Tom Walker with American Family Insurance. If you have questions about insurance or other services we provide, I want to help. You're always welcome to contact me or simply stop by my office so we can get to know each other. Thanks for visiting and have a great day.
Call Tom at Tom Walker Agency, your American Star certified agency. Excellence in customer experience at TomWalkerInsurance.com. Today, we are fortunate to have Andy Zoden, the tennis director at Columbine Country Club, somebody who is an accomplished tennis player himself. He's also the host of Sunday Night Sports Zone on Mile High Sports Radio. I've been reviewing your bio and looking at all the things you've been involved in over the years and looking at articles and so on. And I know that sportsmanship is something you actually teach to your students in your tennis clinics and so on. But I would love for you just to chat a little bit about what you've seen and what it does to the child when you see ill behavior of a parent.
Well, I think it's obviously one of those things where those types of behaviors are learned at home, and what we're starting to notice, and obviously it's tennis that I see the most of, but I think it's not just unique to tennis that we're seeing parents these days taking a much more heavy-handed approach toward their kids' athletics, and I think that the winning and the losing is starting to become more and more and more of a priority for them than doing it the right way and the life lessons that are garnered from just the participation in athletics. And you use the word that I use a lot, which is humility, and I mean, to me, that's one of the most important things that you can learn early on in life, which you can really take with you into adulthood, which is one of the greatest strengths that you can have as an adult, and whether it's in school or in the business world, whatever the case may be, I think people always have a tendency to appreciate and respect those that are humble, and you learn that in sports, and I think that we're getting away from that.
Yeah.
As far as tennis goes, one of the things that we like to see the kids learn is to have a sense of independence and to be independent and internal problem solvers. Well, when your parents are always there at your tennis lessons or at your tennis matches, and every time something starts to go wrong for their child on the court, that kid wants to look over at the parent for an answer to something that's going wrong, the kid's having less of an opportunity to develop those independent instincts and the ability to sort of fend for themselves and to learn that sort of law of the jungle of survival and getting it done on your own.
Yeah, great point. That really the parent thinks they're helping the child by defending them and going after the coach or going after the ref and making sure their child gets treated quote unquote fairly. But in fact, they're hurting their child's adult life, their future adult life by not helping them cope with failures and setbacks and maybe questionable judgment calls themselves. Correct?
Oh, without question, that's what we're seeing way too much of these days, and it's something that, and I've been saying it for many years, having been a teaching pro for 30 years. My old saying is, until your kid can go out with 2 tennis balls and an opponent onto court 27 without the entourage and without the grandparents and without the coach and the nutritionist and all the entourage that goes with it, and just go out there one-on-one and learn how to figure it out and get it done, you're really not taking away from the sport of tennis what is the most important thing, which is that ability to learn how to win and learn how to look internally for answers to problems that you've got.
That's great advice. All righty, you got a couple events. We're having on tomorrow somebody that you're affiliated with, Jeremy Bloom, who everybody knows as an Olympic champion skier, right, and also played for the University of Colorado football and was an NFL player, very well-known guy. Started a beautiful organization called Wish of a Lifetime.
Correct.
I know you're involved in an event coming up with them, and also I just want you to quickly tell people about your event coming up that you're probably excited about.
Well, actually, our event is Tennis with the Stars. It's the 6th annual Tennis with the Stars, and it actually benefits Jeremy's organization, Wish of a Lifetime. So they're one of the 2 beneficiaries. It's Wish of a Lifetime, which grants wishes for the elderly, and it also benefits the Colorado Youth Tennis Foundation. And what we do every year is bring in some world-class tennis pros for really just a big end-of-the-season tennis party for adults and juniors. They play in with these pros. They get some great instruction. It's an all-day deal where they're out on the courts with these pros learning and playing in with them and having just an absolute blast of a day. It's all set to music. We're bringing in Bill Scanlon this year, a former top 10 player in the world who had a number of wins over John McEnroe. So we've got a star-studded group for a big day of tennis at Columbine Country Club next Saturday.
And goes to this Wish of a Lifetime organization that does beautiful things for senior citizens. My compliments to you for raising money for them. So Andy Zoden, thanks so much for being on the show with me today.
Thank you for having me, Jenny.
And today, we are fortunate to have the communications director of Wish of a Lifetime, Michelle Gafka, on Channel Mom with us today to tell us some incredible stories that I'm hoping will inspire you. Welcome to Channel Mom, Michelle.
Thank you.
Alrighty, let's just talk briefly so people understand, in case they've got a senior citizen in mind or something that they would like to donate, about the organization Wish of a Lifetime, and more particularly, why Jeremy Bloom was moved to found it.
Sure, absolutely. Well, Jeremy founded Wish of a Lifetime in 2008, and the reason that he started it was really due to his unwavering love of his grandparents. And, they were extremely influential in his life. In fact, his grandfather is the one that taught him to ski as he was a 3-year-old.
Wow.
Yes, he tells this story often, and it's so cute, I'll repeat it. He took him up to the top of Keystone Mountain and put a Superman cape on him and threw candy bars down the hill and said, encouraged him to ski down. And that was a treat to Jeremy because his mother was very, very healthy. So
yes.
He loved that in and of itself, but more importantly, his grandmother lived with him while he was growing up. And so between the two of them, they were just so important, and his love for his grandparents just runs so deep. So, as he was a worldwide skier, he was traveling abroad, and he was on a bus in a foreign country, and the bus stopped, and the driver got out and returned moments later with a senior citizen. And at that time, about 4 to 5 people stood up to let that person take their seat. And at the age of 17, that was Jeremy's aha moment. And he thought, that would never happen in my country. We don't pay attention to seniors like we should. And, it's really amazing that at that young age. And so he knew at that moment that he would, at some point in the future, start a nonprofit that honored seniors who he deems, rightly so, as the greatest generation. So fast forward 10 to 12 years, and in 2008 he started it with 2 wishes in the first year, and we have, in 5 years, we're now over 650 wishes.
You've granted over 650 wishes to senior citizens.
Yes.
Ah!
In every state except for Delaware, which we're working on right now.